Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ready here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I'm going to talk about the All Rare Dragon Tournament. So this is a tournament that we really didn't know much about until they announced it. It wasn't really in the patch notes or anything like that. So the idea behind it is that you have to use all rare champions to defeat Dragon, and based on however many pieces of gear you get and what rarity those pieces of gear are, you get points. Now, normally Dragon tournaments do not have legendary books as a reward, and I feel like this is really nice to finally get some legendary books in these tournaments. I don't know if Dragon is going to be the only tournament that they do with all rare champions, but I think that there's probably going to be something that they will do in the future, and also maybe something similar that they will do in the future. Either way, I feel like 3 legendary books is nice. For global prize, you also get 2. So the winner of global, that person will obviously win their bracket, and they will achieve the actual regular rewards here. So they'll get 5 legendary books for grinding Dragon, which is something that they will probably normally be doing anyways. Now, I feel like global rewards should probably be a little bit better, but I am pretty happy with the actual rewards here. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at what team I'm using. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about kind of a strategy behind points and how you can get points faster depending on what kind of team you're running. So I have Reliquary Tender here. She does not have really great gear at all. 194 speed. This is pretty much just secondary pieces of gear that I already had on her. No re-gearing done for this particular team at all. Now, Bellower, he has a stun set, 205 speed, 234 accuracy. The accuracy isn't for the stun set, it is for his other abilities. Decrease defense, decrease attack, decrease speed, block cooldowns, all that other good stuff that he has. And then I gave him some crit rate and some crit damage and attack wherever else I could. Now, for his masteries, I kept my campaign farming masteries on. If you really want to maximize your efficiency here, you could probably go to Fearsome Presence. So increases the chance of placing a stun, sleep, freeze, fear, true fear, or provoke debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. So, seeing as how I'm running a stun set and I need him to stun as often as possible, running that will probably be most optimal. Now I'm running 2 Cold Hearts. Cold Hearts just have regular path down to Helm Smasher. Artifacts wise, 163 speed, 248 crit damage on this one, decent amount of accuracy. And the other one is fast, 202 speed, 238 crit damage, 214 accuracy, 40k hit points. This is kind of Cold Heart that I use everywhere. And then I have Kale. Now Kale could have different gear. I kind of just have him for campaign farming at the moment until I switch Bellower back to what he's normally wearing, because I don't farm campaign with Bellower and stun set. But he's just wearing crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage boots here. We could run speed boots, but I don't really need them. I kind of just use this to help me clear waves faster. And then we have Apothecary. Apothecary is wearing a lifesteal set that I was kind of using for Clan Boss. I didn't really want to re-gear because I don't really normally use Apothecary, so I kind of just left Apothecary in this and it works perfectly fine. Masteries on Apothecary, Giant Slayer, defense trait, and then masteries on Kale, War Master. Even though he could probably use crit damage here. Who knows? Now, the strategy behind this that I want to talk about is whether you should do Dragon 20 or whether you should do Dragon 16 or 17 or something like this, depending on how fast you can do it. Now, with all rares, a normal run is around 220 or so for most people that have a gear team for this. I could run this team, but it's not consistent. I have a screenshot over here that I can show. So this team works, or can work on Dragon 20. It's around a minute 30 that I can get this. But the thing is, it's not very consistent because they definitely can die if he doesn't proc stunts. So I don't really like using this team. I normally have been farming it with just Reliquary Tender here instead. And let's go ahead and run this. So the idea here is kind of using Kale to help clear ways faster with his damage. Reliquary Tender is here to revive somebody when they die, because somebody probably will die on the second wave, not on the first one. And then Bellower, besides stun, he's also slowing, decreased defense, decreased attack. Apothecary is here for the speed boost and heal. Reliquary Tender can remove the decreased defense that Tyrell can place on us as well. And then Coldheart obviously here for damage and big damage on the boss to make it go faster. Now this run isn't the fastest right now. This team can run around. The fastest I got it to run, I think, is 157. This definitely doesn't look like it's going to be one of those runs, which would be actually perfect for this example that I wanted to show you guys. Now, I know this is getting kind of towards the end of this tournament, so you can still use this strategy in this particular tournament, but you can also use this down the road if this ever happens again. Now, the major thing here is time, right? You're just looking for tournament points, and seeing as how this is with all rares, some people might not have rares built, some people might not have rares built to a point where they can do this. I actually have some whale friends that don't have any rares at all and can't even do this tournament. But this is pretty much going to be for those that are kind of maybe struggling with it or are having trouble competing or winning the actual tournament. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a trick to where you can get points faster. So this run right here, like I was saying, it's not one of the fastest ones that I can do. But the thing is, you can't base your average speed of a run based off of a really, really good run. It's kind of just like a combination of your good runs and your bad runs. Now, this is somewhat of a towards the bad end run, 2 minutes 30 seconds already. Normally, he does around 2 minutes 12 or so. So, 2 minutes 40 seconds. We got a 5-star artifact, 16 points. Now, if you're just trying to win this tournament and you're not really concerned about energy that much or what you're getting from the gear, you just kind of want to win this tournament for the books, and you don't have to go crazy with it because your group isn't going too crazy, but you still want to make sure that you're on top and you want to do so quickly, and you don't necessarily have a quick Dragon 20 team. Even if you do, this is the best way or the fastest way to get points. Now, let's say we run Dragon 16, right? We're going to go ahead and put Coldheart in here. Now, on Dragon 16, you can get a 4-star piece of gear, right? A 4-star rare piece of gear would net you 8 points. The thing about that is that you can run Dragon 16 so quickly that it will probably be a 3-to-1 ratio to how many times you can run Dragon 16 to how many times you can run Dragon 20. Now, with that 3-to-1 ratio in mind, yeah, obviously you're spending more energy and not getting as many good pieces of gear. But even if you get 3 rare blue pieces of gear that you're not going to use, that you're going to sell automatically, you're going to get 24 points. The only way to top that is to get a legendary 6-star artifact from Dragon 20. Now, most of the time, or not most of the time, but a lot of the time, you're not going to get a 4-star piece of gear, you're going to get a 5-star piece of gear. So now, in 47 seconds here, I got the same points that I did in Dragon 20 earlier. So, if you run this 3 times, you're going to notice that a lot of the time, you're going to get a lot more points than you would normally get in just running Dragon 20, or in the amount of time that it would take you to get those points from running Dragon 20. So if you are struggling in your group, there's definitely going to be people that don't want to do this because they're not getting gear, or they're not getting as good gear as they could be. Now, I've actually already kept some pieces of gear from doing this way, because there was somebody right behind me in my group, and I kind of wanted to get a lead, so I wanted to see whether this would work. And it definitely worked. It worked really well. And I think I was like over 1,000 points ahead. Maybe they're still doing Dragon, but I haven't done Dragon in hours now. So I know that I can get a steady victory here. And look, once again, we have a 5-star piece of gear here. So now I'm going to run this again. So 3 times to the time that I would have run 1 dragon. And I'm going to get, if I get another 5-star piece of gear, that is like running 3 dragon 20s. And you can get points very, very quickly this way. So if you value legendary books over your energy, which in my, like me personally, I value legendary books the most because they're the hardest to get, they're the most expensive thing to get. They are coming out with some better deals for legendary books now, but I feel like they're still very, very expensive. So let's go ahead and see how this run works out. What we get for a drop. All right, we got a 6-star piece. So this is actually something that I might even be able to use, depending if it rolls double into one of those stats. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. I'm well ahead of my competition in Dragon now. Let's see. So yeah, I'm about 15, almost 1,600 points ahead here, which is definitely a very comfortable lead. Now, I've gotten most of this done doing Dragon 20. I just kind of wanted to go ahead and check out if there was a faster way that you can do this. And in my personal experience here, Dragon 16, or maybe even 17 if you can run it faster, but like I said, 16 because it's the easiest, it's the lowest level one, it's the lowest level one where you do not get mystery shards and bruise anymore. So I feel like if you're having trouble keeping up in this competition, this is definitely a good way for you to keep up and even win these legendary books. Not to mention the Relentless artifacts are still also pretty good, even though Relentless set got nerfed. I think Relentless gear is still very good, especially if it rolls good, you could use it as an off piece. So even though this isn't necessarily new content, it was pretty fun to do this all rare dragon tournament. I just don't like that it isn't necessarily very accessible to everyone, because to technically win this tournament, you do have to have pretty decently geared rare champions, just pretty decent gear in general. So this is kind of why I wanted to make this video about doing this at a lower level dragon, because this makes it more available towards all of the players. So that way you have a chance of winning against somebody who might be running Dragon 20 at a slower time. Now that being said, this was pretty fun to do. I hope to do more stuff like this. And as always, I am hoping for some actual new content. I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Please leave a like and a subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.